Join us as we explore the ruins of Carmichael House, near Tinto Hill, South Lanarkshire, Scotland. The name Carmichael derives from the site of a nearby old church on Kirk Hill. Founded in the 11th century, it was dedicated to St Michael. In 1321, King Robert the Bruce granted the lands of the Valley of Douglas and the whole land in that surrounding the area, including the tenement of Carmichael, to the good Sir James Douglas. The name Carmichael first appears in our records in 1220. They seem to have gathered favour with the Douglases and were later granted the lands near Carmichael in 1342. The second Baron of Carmichael is said to have built the castle back in 1414, but it seems likely that an earlier castle had existed on the site long before the date, and 1414 is the date that the charter was granted. Carmichael House can be reached by parking up at the nearby farm that hosts the Carmichael Bistro and Tea Room, and there's also a small clan centre there. It's a well-defined walking path to follow towards the walled gates, in which you then enter down what would have been the once magnificent driveway, trees on either side, before you start to see the roof of the house before you, and you take a small drop down, and there the whole of the building opens up before you. The architect is unknown, but the plan was for a grand house, but only the east and west wings were fully completed, with a tower between them and a corridor that linked both buildings. It was amazing to see some of the original features still existing, like this tiling behind the fireplace, and this would not be the last that we found. We can only surmise at how splendid the finished building would have been, but what is here gives us a snippet of what the grand design for the buildings would have been. The east wing is a 5-bay block of 2 stories plus an attic. It is shaped gables and urn finials. The projecting central bay was added in the 19th century. The east wings were also graced with these magnificent vaulted ceilings, featured throughout the ground floor. The ground floor rooms have this trench network running along the entire length of it, probably part of the central heating system and possibly even underfloor heating. As you see the ruined parts of the building that still exist today, we're reminded that the original castle on this site was slighted in 1650 by Cromwell as part of his Scottish campaign. I was amazed to find that the stone staircases still existed, and this allowed me a unique chance to climb up the stairs and get a look at what the second floor must have looked like. As nature slowly starts to reclaim back the land, we are still left with the image of how this house must have looked back in its day, with the many fireplaces and alcoves and rooms on the second floor, and what would have been the beating heart of this home. I was amazed to see that even the stairs up to the attic were still in place. The much younger me might have went and investigated, but the older me was a bit more cautious. The vaulting continues on the right hand side of the first floor, and attached to this room is a more modern structure, which at first I believed to be a garage, but I was reliably informed actually was the gun room. It is said that the 3rd Earl of Hindford started the building of the new house in 1734. However, he did not become the Earl until 1737, so either the data is wrong or the building was started earlier by the 2nd Earl, which probably seems more likely. The mansion itself was built between 1754 and 1767. So how did the Carmichaels get to this point? The 15th century seems to have been a very important time for the family. Sir John Carmichael fought alongside the French against the English at the Battle of Vosges in 1421, and later became the Bishop of Orleans in 1426, and is known in France as Jean de Saint-Michel. The Carmichaels were royalists, supporting Mary Queen of Scots and helping negotiate the marriage of James VI to Anne. He also fought alongside Charles I, hence why Oliver Cromwell took his revenge out on the family home. As we see, the east wing very much mirrors that of the west. Stone staircases still exist, but on the east wing you can see the slats that would hold the plaster to the walls with the laughing plaster. And here, just as we head towards the second floor, you can actually see some of the original plasterwork still clinging to the slats. In 1672, John Carmichael became 2nd Lord Carmichael. He held high offices such as Keeper of the Privy Seal of Scotland, Lord High Commissioner to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland, and Secretary of State. In 1701, he became Earl of Hindford. Outside, you can still find a set of stairs. It's possible to walk down and go underground to see the area which held the central heating system. The fifth Earl of Hyndford died childless in 1817, and the estate passed on to Sir John Anstruther, whose ancestor had married into the Carmichael family. They adopted the name Carmichael Anstruther, and the family lived in the home until World War II. During the Second World War, Polish troops were billeted in the house, and it is said that Carmichael Anstruther's wife ran off with a Polish officer. Post-war, the building was sold to become a nursing home. However, the company went bankrupt, and eventually the family bought the house back. To avoid the duties on the house, the interior furnishings were sold off and the roof was removed in 1952. The house has been derelict ever since. Between 1996 and 2000, the walls were consolidated and restored to prevent further deterioration. With the help of the drone, you're able to see that the house is sat on amazingly landscaped lands, which can still be seen today. I hope you've enjoyed our tour of Carmichael House. There is more to see here. There is country walks around the lands and estates. There is a small pet cemetery, as well as the family mausoleum for those brave enough to take the hike up the hill. If you have made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching. Hopefully there'll be more content like this coming soon. And please, like and subscribe. It certainly helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching.